Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK and welcome back to Fate Stay Night Remastered, where we are alive. Shirou has survived a couple of attacks from Archer after the lovely encounter with Caster. And now, Rin is apologizing on his behalf, and apparently she used a command spell to prevent him from attacking him further while their truce continues. So, let's cross our fingers that the truce, continues for a while, because Rin is quite the weapon herself. And, yeah, we got to see a little bit of the tsundere personality out of her in the previous episode, because it took some time before she could really get the words out in apology. And then they spoke over each other.
それが敵は少ない方がいい。エミヤ君はどうでもいいけど、セイバーは後々厄介になるから、今のうちに潰しておくべきだとかなんとか。
Yeah, no, she will.
昨日みたいに簡単に他のマスターに操られると迷惑だから、ここで切り捨てた方がいいって判断したんだって。
Damn it, I can't object to that. I'm certainly burdensome, and falling into Caster's trap like that. He must have figured that the moment I was caught in her spell.
納得いった。それじゃ、この話はこれで終わりにしよう。俺だって悪いところはあったし、そもそもあいつがいなかったら今頃どうなってたかわからない。
I mean, yeah, it's obvious that if he didn't show up, Shirou would have died. That would have been game over, bad end. And I wouldn't really have known what to do different. There's really nothing else you could have done different. We kind of got stuck in a lovely situation that required help no matter what. He definitely saved the day, but yeah, he also seemed disappointed in the way that Shirou was kind of approaching the war, and maybe that kind of pushed Archer over the edge to the point where it's like, all right, well, fuck this, you're gonna die.
ほら、愛子ってことで帳消しじゃないか。遠坂がそう気に病むことはないぞ。
そう言ってくれると助かるけど。
She's so great, guys. I really love this character. I don't know why. She looks away awkwardly. And that strong sense of responsibility must be getting in the way of her agreeability.
お、ちょうどよくチャイムが鳴ったな。
Lunch break is over. I didn't even taste anything because of the situation, but I guess this wasn't bad at all.
中に戻ろう。5次元目、遅れるぞ。
I stand up and head to the door. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. But Tosaka is still sitting.
遠坂、チャイム鳴ったんだが。
She doesn't answer, but she looks at me as though she wants to say something.
少し付き合いなさいよ。一つぐらいサボっても平気でしょ?
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm cool with that. You know, if it's for this specifically, I'm down with that. The words of a model honor student would never dare say. For real. But shit, I'm gullible. The bell rings to indicate the start of 5th period. Yet, what are we doing? Drinking coffee at a place like this? On a side note, I had to go buy the canned coffee real quick like.
授業開始まで5分あるでしょ? 1階の購買からここまで5分もあれば十分じゃないかしら。
Damn, he had to sprint all the way to the bottom, and then all the way back up. So was the devilish request from Tosaka.
それで、エミヤ君はどうなの?
ああ、魔術を習い始めた頃か。確かそんなもんだよ。2年近く親父に無理を言って、ようやく教えてもらえたんだ。
じゃあ足掛け8年か。エミヤ君のお父さんも随分と半端なことするのね。どうせ教えるんなら生まれた時から手を加えればよかったのに。
Well, about that.
8年前って言えばもう二次成長期後でしょ? そんなに大きくなったら刻印を刻むこともできないし、体もいじれないじゃない。
Tosaka says dangerous things. Well, I know this is the part of her that's a mage.
まあな。前にも言ったけど、親父は俺に魔術を教えるつもりはなかったんだ。というか、生まれた時から手を加えるって何さ。
言葉通りの意味よ。歴史が古くなればなるほど、その家系の魔術刻印は大きくなる。 魔術刻印は形になった魔術回路だから、ほんの少し体に刻むだけで人間の体が拒否反応を起こしてものすごく痛むのよ。
Oh yeah, that's fun.
で、それを少しでも和らげるために子供の頃から少しずつ移植していくってわけ。ついでに中身も無理が効くように苦い薬草やら怪しげな骨を砕いた粉とか飲み続けて体に耐性を作っておくの。
You know, this gig seems like a lot more hardcore than I initially thought.
まあ
I mean, I
魔
always knew
術
it was
使いであるエ
hardcore,
ミヤ君
but
に
you
は関
know.
係のない話だからあんまり気にする必要はないわ。今から無理して真似されても困るし。
言われなくてもそんな気はないよ。けど遠坂は大丈夫なのか。なんか聞くだけで痛々しいんだが、
I don't know how to explain it. I've never known a normal practitioner or magecraft, excuse me. But when I went to Tosaka's house, I felt an inexplicable pressure. A family that passes along a long history. Children that have the duty to succeed since they were born, secluded from the normal world, completely disregarding anything they may want. I bite my lip, daring to imagine how painstaking and tiresome that must be.
そういう心配なんてしてるんだ、エミ。
なんだよ、その意味ありげな顔は。
当然よ、心配なんてされる覚えはないもの。私は好きでやってきたんだから、そこに後悔なんてないしね。そのあたり、エミヤ君も同じなんじゃない？
なんでそこに俺が出てくるんだ？
Wait, the same? Tosaka and I?
まったく、本当に自分のことはわからないのね、あんたって。
As I've personally been told.
確かに
That is
私の
true.
修行は大変だったわ。けど逃げ出したいなんて思ったことはなかった。それはエミヤ君も同じでしょって言ったの。
それはそうだけど、俺は遠坂ほどきついことは要求されなかったし。
バカ言わないでよ。9年間まっとうに育っておいて、それから魔術を習うなんて正気じゃないわ。エミヤ君の日課がどんなものかは知らないけど、それよっぽど危険な鍛錬なはずよ。失敗したら命がないっていうぐらいギリギリのライン。
I mean, he does put himself in quite the interesting situation every time he does his daily training.
いや、それは俺が未熟なだけであって、本来ならそういう危険なものじゃないんだ。
そうね。私だってあなたと比べることはできないもの。魔術の鍛錬なんてね、結局はそういうものよ。唯一共通なのは命を計りにかけてるってこと。計りには個人差があるけど、要はその計りをどれほど傾けられるかでしょ。その点で言えば、あなたは私なんかよりずっと厳しい。私、死ぬような鍛錬なんてしたことないもの。そもそも失敗することがないし。
Uh-huh.
うわ、言い切ったな、今。
She casually dunks on me. Tosaka basically said that she doesn't know what it feels like to fail, unlike the rest of us.
ほら、そこすねない。今の褒めたんだから。
テストでいつも100点取ってるやつに、今回はよくできましたなんて褒められても嬉しかないやい。
今回はなんて言ってないわよ。要するにね、確かに教えは厳しかったけど辛くはなかったってこと。だから逃げ出さなかったし、今もずっと続けている。それ、エミヤ君も同じでしょ？
Hard but not painful. I do think that's that's like what I feel. Sorry. I never felt that it was painful or hard. No, to be honest, I couldn't afford to think that. I just wanted to catch up to Kiritsugu. I'll become like Kiritsugu someday. I've kept training to become the hero of justice that Kiritsugu couldn't. Looking back, most of my memories are about the training I did in the shed. I've never regretted that. Perhaps it's because I believe that that was the most important thing to do for myself.
そうか。言われてみればそうだな。俺もそれなりにやってきたってことか。
そういうこと。エミヤ君は独学でここまで来たんだから、もっと自信を持ちなさい。
Tosaka says proudly. I'm a bit embarrassed. It's worse when she's happy about it as if it's her own accomplishment.
さて、話がまとまったところで少しは真面目な話をしよっか。協力者としてお互いの特技はしておかないとね。
Haha, yeah, about that.
特技？ああ、使える魔術のことか。そんなの今更だろう。遠坂は俺の魔術を知ってるじゃないか。
ええ、エミヤ君の魔術は強化だっけ？珍しいとまでは言わないけど、メインに据えてる魔術師はそう多くないじゃない？それが不思議だったのよ。あなた、どうして強化にこだわるわけ？
It's all reliable.
いや、単にそれしか使えないんだよ。いろいろ試したけど、強化ぐらいしかできなかった。
The rest are basic things like making a blueprint and stuff. That's not something to be talking about right now.
そう。私のところは転換かな。力の蓄積、流動、変化ってところ。そのあたりを基本にして有名どころの魔術は抑えてある。結界作りも教室ぐらいの広さなら形だけは整えられるわ。
Conversion of power. That's the most basic and all-rounder type. In other words, she's saying that she can transfer magical energy into any vessel and transform it.
そっか。けど、遠坂、教えてくれるのは嬉しいけど、自分の魔術をばらしていいのかよ。
前にエミヤ君、私に教えてくれたでしょ？なのに私だけ隠してるのはフェアじゃないから。
Yeah, but we're also talking here at a location where another master is indeed present and could also have his servant nearby. Because there's still a bounded field here at the school, no? Tosaka says and puts her left hand out.
この前見せたけど、これが私の魔術刻印。遠坂の家に伝わるのは転換の技法でね。自分でも他人でもともかく力を移し替えたりするのが得意なわけ。普通魔力っていうのは体外に出すと消えるでしょ？魔力だけで神秘は起こせない。外に出して魔力が消えてしまう前に魔力によって魔術っていう式を発動させる。だから魔術にしていない純粋な魔力は移し替えるのが難しいんだけど。
So she mentions that she's good at transferring power from herself or someone else. Does this kind of, allude to basically how Saber's life was saved? Or I guess everybody's life here, Rin and Shirou's included, for the previous route whenever they were, preparing to go against Berserker and Ilya. Because there was that whole procedure of getting Shirou to save Saber's life, which it all worked out, but I think that was a little bit on the different side. Like, it was a whole lot more of a process. She stops there and takes out a small stone out of her pocket. Is it a gem? The transparent polyhedron reminds me of a kaleidoscope.
例外として、私は他のものに自分の魔力を蓄積できる。いいえ、自分の魔力だけじゃなくて、他の術者の魔力だって保存できるし、難しいけど移し替えられるのは魔力だけじゃないわ。で、その保存場所に一番相性がいいのが宝石なの。宝石が想念をためやすい場、流れをとどめる牢獄ってことは知ってるでしょ？加えてずっと地中で眠っていた鉱石には強い自然霊が宿っている。そういった宝石や魔力を込めるだけで簡易的な魔術刻印になるのよ。まあ、宝石である以上、一度でも込められた魔力を解放すれば壊れちゃうんだけど。
Tosaka shrugs and puts the gem away.
なんだ、もったいない話だな。一度使ったら壊れるって、なくなるってことだろ？宝石なんて高いもの、その度に補充するのか？
そうなのよ。おかげでうちは年中金欠でさ。遠坂の魔術師は、後継ぎになったらまずお金を稼ぐところから。
そうか。問題ってのは人それぞれなんだな、遠坂。
God damn it. She looks away as if she said too much. Yeah, I think this every time, but Tosaka is actually really awkward deep down. I mean, you can't be perfect at everything. If you're perfect, at school, magecraft, whatever, you have to have some sort of downside, and, I guess you could say that that might be hers. Fifth period is about to end. Tosuka finished explaining things to me, so I asked her about Shinji since he's also from a family of mages, excuse me.
なあ、登坂。シンジの家、マトウの家が魔術師の家系だって言うんだけど、知ってたか?
Okay, before that, so in the comments of the previous episode, and this is something that I've been thinking about for a little bit, but the image that we got from the dream sequence, the image of blades. So there were a couple of other times that popped up, and I even brought it up that the most recent that I could remember was whenever we had gotten the bad ending, whenever we were trying to fight Shinji and Ryder here at school. But there was actually a moment during the actual route that you will encounter, and I think that's when we were going against the previous archer, I want to say. I could be wrong there. And it's such a weird piece of imagery because every time I see it, I feel like I'm not quite grasping what I'm looking at, like every time. But yeah, it's something to highly consider that, yeah, Shirou has that very strange mystery going on, and he also holds a sheath within him. Parts of a sheath, that is. Not necessarily a put-together sheath, but you get what I mean. So, what exactly is Shirou? There's a lot of questions here. He's definitely not an ordinary person that was picked up and given an opportunity to live a normal life instead of, you know, becoming an almost corpse at the basement of a church. He got to live a normal life, plus getting to learn a little bit of the magical side of the world. But obviously there was a little something added to him. But then again, what is this stuff about the blades, you know?
ええ、知ってたわ。けどマトウ家はここ数十年で衰退したって父さんが言ってた。今のマトウ家には魔術師としての血脈はないって。それは本当。だからシンジがマスターになったって聞いて驚いたけど。
What, you know? Oh, so she did know. Of course, excuse me. She supervises this land, so she knows all the families with a mage history. She should know that Shinji's a master. Wait, hold on.
登坂、シンジがマスターだって知ってたのか?
ごめん。私も今朝知ったのよ。シンジがマスターになるわけないって鷹をくくってたのが裏目に出たみたい。
Tosuka says as if it's nothing. However, something's off. She was searching for the third master at school, yet she doesn't seem to consider Shinji a problem at all.
登坂、シンジはそのマスターなんだろ?
ええ、けど別にどうってことないでしょ。シンジ自身に魔力はないんだし、そう大それたことはできないわ。
Yeah, I kind of wonder about that.
私たちの敵は学校に潜んでいるマスターだもの。シンジはマスターとしての気配もないし、私たちが探している相手とは別物よ。
So there actually is a fourth. I brought this up prior, but yeah, it seems like either Rin really is losing her shit here and she's wrong again, but or maybe, you know, there really is a fourth one, a fourth master. I don't know. I'm conflicted. I don't know why, but I am.
学校には都合4人のマスターがいるってことか。
そうなるんじゃない？まあ、シンジにはおとなしくしておけって言ったから邪魔されることはないでしょうけど。
Maybe that's why he seemed the way he did this morning. Another statement that bothers me. Wait, first of all, how did Tosuka find out that Shinji's a master?
登坂、ちょっと今朝の話を詳しく聞かせてくれ。
詳しくも何もシンジの方から話しかけてきたのよ。
Oh, so he just outright said it.
僕もマスターになったから二人で手を組まないかって。
I'm starting to get a bad feeling about this, but I can't stop her now.
続き、その続きはどうした？
続きも何も当然断ったわ。だっていうのにあいつしつこく食い下がってくるんだもの。ついシローがいるからマトウ君はいらないって言っちゃった。
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Tosuka laughs, recalling it. Yeah, remember what I was saying about how nobody is perfect? That must be the reason why Shinji was acting so strange. However...
それで、登坂はどうするんだ？シンジを放っておくのか？ 学校の結界ってシンジが張ってるんだろ？
Well, more so his servant did.
Huh?
Tosaka freezes. I knew it. She didn't notice that Shinji was the one who set up the bounded field.
違うんだ、トサカ。確かにシンジは魔術師じゃない。けど、あの結界はシンジが張ったものだ。
Tosaka grows pale.
トサカ、お前気づいてなかったのか？
ううん、あの結界がサーバントによるものだって気がついてたけど。
She couldn't make the connection with Shinji? I recall how Tosaka was acting until now. I bet she was so worried about last night's incident that she couldn't think about Shinji. This might be the biggest mistake that she's made in her life.
まずい。下手したらシンジのやつ。
Oh, here we go. Tosaka gets up instantly and glares at the exit. At that instant... Oh, yep. Oh, shit. God damn it. Sorry, guys. I installed a virus. The abnormality around this school openly reveals itself with perfect timing.
結界
Yeah, that was way too coincidental. The sky is tinted red. Stagnant red air immediately begins suffocating everything within the school grounds. It won't affect mages who can cycle magical energy through their body to ward off this effect, but normal people will pass out, and if enough time goes by, they'll die.
トサカ。
分かってる。急ぐわよ、シロ。
The fuck you mean, hurry? What can we do? Red surrounds everything in the school. The hallway, red as blood. The air, red as blood. Thick air sticks to my skin and creates the sense that this is all just one horrible dream. Disgust threatens to rip itself out through my lips. Like coolant, I try to force reasonable, controlled thoughts through my confused and heated brain. Hey everybody, are you guys passed out? I break for the classroom closest to the stairs on the 4th floor. Tosaka stops for a second, hesitant to enter the disastrous scene. I know how she feels. I don't like it any more than she does.
息はある。まだ間に合わないわけじゃない。
I check the nearest student for their pulse and breathing. There's not a conscious person left in this classroom. The students who were sitting in their seats and the teacher at the podium are all lying on the floor. Most of the students are unconscious, limp, and their eyes are clouded over. The few others, a small handful of students, had more unusual reactions. Their skin is congealing. As if scorched by cold flame, their skin is stripped of all vitality and shines in the eerie light, like melted wax. Tosaka is breathless before the scene of disaster. We have no time. To get to the bottom of this as fast as possible, shit. Search for Shinji with the two of us, or use my command spell to call for Saber. Shit. I kind of want to say probably the first one. I mean, this is a bit of a different situation. We actually have Rin here with us. The bad side to all of this, the true downside to the situation, is that neither of these characters have their servant with them. So, what can they do once they find Shinji? If we use a command spell, then, you know, that's 3 people that can go and look for Shinji. But I don't think we're in a situation yet where we need to use the command spell. It's kind of like the previous one, where I got our first bad ending of this route. I think it was the first one. I don't think this is a situation necessarily where we need to rely on the command spell yet. So let's search for Shinji and just see what happens. There's no time to hesitate. If this is a bounded field that Shinji's servant set up, we have to go stop the culprit right away.
トサカ、手分けして校舎を探そう。これ以上犠牲者を出すわけにはいかない。
Now, I could be very wrong with the choice I just made. It could be that we were supposed to call Saber first, then go search. I grab Tosaka, who's still frozen in place, and take off.
待ってエミヤ君、それじゃあきっと間に合わない。相手がサーバントならこっちもサーバントを出さないと。シンジを探し出したところで返り討ちになるだけよ。
そうか。けど。
Even if I contact Saber, we won't make it in time. or we won't make it in the time it'll take her to get here.
レイジを使って私もアーチャーを呼ぶわ。レイジを使っての召喚なら今すぐに呼びつけられる。
Is that really a good idea? You only have one left. Tosuka says while biting her lip. She looks like she's regained her composure, but that truly calm and collected side of her isn't fully online yet.
待った。レイジを使うなら俺だけでいい。敵は一人だろう。ならセイバー一人で十分だ。
Besides, if this is the doing of Shinji's servant, our enemy is that servant in black. I fought her the day before yesterday. If it's against them, Saber will handle it, no problem.
エミヤ君、いいの？
ああ、遠坂は昨日レイジを使ったんだろう。なら今度は俺の番だ。セイバーを呼んでもどうにもならないなら、その時はアーチャーを呼べばいい。それで、レイジの使い方は？
左手に意識を固めて、目はつむった方がいい。頭の中で自分のレイジの形をイメージして、スルッと紐解くだけでいいわ。
I guess we're gonna use the command spell regardless. I close my eyes. I can't take my time, so I clear my thoughts as much as possible. Concentrate on my second command spell.
頼む。来い！セイバー！
Oh, here we go. And release the second mark. The back of my left hand burns. Simultaneously, a sudden mass forms. A knight in silver emerges from a space distortion next to me.
セイバー！
召喚に応じ参上しました。マスター、状況は？レイジを使うほどのことなのですね。
Yeah, I guess so.
見ての通りだ。サーバントに結界を張られた。1秒でも早くこいつを消去したい。
承知しました。確かにこのフロアにサーバントの気配を感じます。このフロア4階にいるっていうの？サーバントが。間違いありません。ウィン、それが何か？ああ、セイバーの感知なら確かだろうけど、それはおかしいのよ。結界の起点は1階から感じられる。サーバントの気配を感知するのはサーバントであるセイバーのが優れてるでしょうけど、こと魔術の功績に関しては私だって負けてない。
Okay, okay, calm down. You're losing it here.
サーバントはこの階にいるのに、結界を張っているのは1階だってことか、遠坂。
断定はできないけど、私はそう感じてるわ。この結界の起点は1階にあるんだって。
So we have to choose between the two, huh? If Shinji placed the servant on this floor, then one must definitely be a trap. If we make the wrong choice, we will be sacrificing everybody in the school.
リン、アーチャーはどうしたのです？彼がいるのなら、もう少し確かな判別ができる。それがあいつ、呼んでも答えないの。この結界、完全に内と外を遮断してる。レイジを使うか、あいつがこっちの異常を感知して駆けつけてくる以外ないわ。
I mean, you could have brought him with. I mean, sure, it would have been awkward with the conversation we just had on the rooftop, but it would have been the safer choice. Tosuka and Saber glare at each other. This isn't the place for it, though. Think. Tosuka has lost her composure. The best thing we can do right now is...
よし。
Okay, I didn't make a choice. We're just... Alright, well, I guess we're going back to the old searcheroo. I'll go search the first floor. I feel bad for leaving the servant to Saber alone, but she should be able to fight by herself.
セイバー、サーバントは任せた。一人で戦えるか？
無論です。ではシローは？
遠坂と1階に急ぐ。俺一人じゃ危なっかしいだろうが、遠坂がいるならなんとかなる。それに魔力感知は遠坂しかできない。一緒に行くぞ、遠坂。
ええ、当然よ。言われなくても一人で行くつもりだったわ。
Why is she, like, not on her A game here? It's a little concerning. It's decided. So now...
何してんのよ。椅子の足なんて折って正気？
That actually kind of spooked me. I was like, what the fuck's that noise?
武器は必要だろ。俺は強化しかできないんだから、元になる獲物は必要なんだ。
I swing the leg of the chair I broke off. It's like I'm recreating what happened that one time with Tosuka. My success rate seems to be going up, as I easily manage this time, so I grab another leg just in case.
シロ、外に微弱な気配がします。どうやら包囲されたようです。
Oh, lovely.
包囲されたって何？
わかりかねます。ですが、外に出て確認するだけの話です。
そうだな。戦闘を頼めるか？
無論、あなたの盾となるのが私の使命ですから。
Yeah, I'm glad that we've actually got that all squared away in this route, that Saber is in her position as the servant, as the fighter, and we, you know, are more of a secondary. Saber jumps out into the hallway.
行くぞ、父さん。こっちは1階だ。
Alright, what do we got out here? Oh, yeah. These guys. You know, my homies. What the hell? The instant we go out into the hallway, we find what's surrounding us. Are those bones? Puppets made out of inhuman bones swarm from the other side of the hallway.
父さん、あれは
ゴーレム、スカイマの類でしょ。いいからこっち。あいつらはセイバーが引き受けてくれるってば。
すまん、セイバー。
Oh, no apologies needed, I'm sure. I run to the stairs. The sound of Saber crushing the strange bone puppets echoes through the hall behind me. We go down the stairs. It's not far from the 4th floor to the 1st. However, I smash the bone dolls, blocking my way with the chair leg in my hand. Easy mobs. This is the 3rd one already. Maybe it's because of the horrible state of this place, but I don't even care about the violence overtaking us. My mind has gone numb. Hatred, fear, sadness, cowardice, all of it is locked up in my brain. The only thing I can think of is to make it to the 1st floor. I'll just keep on swinging these 2 weapons in my hands just like him. I see he's still really thinking about Archer, and I'm really thinking about Archer's back. I mowed down the 4th body of bones. The bone puppet that tried to attack Tosuka from one side crumbles as it crashes into the wall. Yeah, why aren't you doing anything? She is just out of it. I don't understand. Good, she's fine.
結界の起点は？
ええ、すぐそこ。あそこの教室。
Tosuka points at a room about 10 meters ahead. There are a few more bone puppets that followed us down the stairs, but we don't have the time to deal with them. I parry the attacking sword with the weapon in my right hand, then slash the exposed body with the weapon in my left. You know, these ridiculous sound effects are making me think about the lamps. God damn, I hope we get a, you know, mess with a lot of lamps in this route. The 5th bone artifice crumbles, but they just keep coming. There's still more than 10 of them swarming the hallway.
しつこい。いい加減品切れになれってんだ、こいつら。
Sorry, I was getting a drink. Not of water, I have Sprite today, which is a horrible choice. I retreat a bit. The chair legs in my hands are worn down. Even though I strengthened them, they're originally just stainless steel. I don't know if they can take one more attack.
シロ、下がって。
Oh, you about to do something finally? I'm surprised, but I retreat like I'm told. At that instant, Tosuka jumps out in front of me as if tagging in, and throws a gem at the bone creatures. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Alright, I'll take it. See ya, homies. My vision goes white. Was that some kind of release incantation? There are no sign of destruction in the hallway, and only the scattered remains of the bone figures are there.
ありがとう。助かったわ。トパーズなんてめったに使わないから用意するのに時間がかかって。
Oh, is that why you weren't doing anything for a while?
正直、エミヤくんがいなかったら数で押されてた。
She drops her shoulders in relief, but she only does so for an instant and glares at the classroom.
行きましょう。あそこにシンジがいるはずよ。
Should we, like, strengthen a fucking knife or something? You know, really get that bitch sharp? Tosuka runs to our destination. I follow her and step inside the red classroom. gonna strengthen my ki. Turn it into the old Keyblade. This is absolute hell. The air filling the classroom cannot be called a gas anymore. The vaporized blood dyes the eyes of onlookers like paint. I hear voices of anguish from all directions. This is the source of the bounded field, the place where absorption is strongest. The students collapse on the floor are entirely different to the students on the fourth floor. The groans that I hear are just my imagination. The fainted students have pale faces and are still as wax figures. Tosuka just gazes at the scene, her legs shaking. A clicking sound. It must be to suppress her emotions. Tosuka chatters her teeth as she beholds the horror. She lifts her shaking leg and moves forward. Between the desks, there is one clearly animated person. Sitting hunched amongst the fallen students, Shinji Matoa looks up at Tosuka.
Shinji, あんた。
A stern voice. He must have reacted to that. Shinji lets out a strangled cry and clambers away from Tosuka.
言い訳は聞かないわよ。あんたがやったことの代償はどんなことをしても払わせてやる。
Tosuka approaches Shinji.
違う。僕じゃない。
You know, this does scream caster. He shakes his head violently and backs up to the wall.
僕じゃない？よくもそんなことを言えたものね。いいから、今すぐ結界を解きなさい。解かないって言うなら、その顔吹っ飛ばしてでも。
違う。だから違う。僕じゃないんだ。
what?
殺したのは僕じゃない。
Killed who? Something is very wrong here. Stranger and stranger. Shinji flees from Tosuka, but not really. He's looking at the floor, at our feet. I look down. The only thing there are the students lying unconscious on the floor. Other than that, there's nothing else.
Tosuka.
I call out to her and point. A stunned voice. Her anger toward Shinji turns to confusion. The moment she sees the thing lying on the floor, the animosity fades. What the fuck? My breathing catches. The thing collapsed on the floor is completely dead. Long purple hair. The woman in black. The servant who attacked me. Ryder. Well, this is a tad bit different. Tosuka's voice is flat, emotionless.
だから僕じゃない。僕がやったんじゃない。結界を起こして誰も動かなくなったのに。ライダーは
Wait, so the bounded field is definitely his. It belonged to him and Ryder. The servant in black, Ryder, was killed with one blow. What kind of weapon was it? How was she killed? Only one blow against the servant. It was a single strike to the neck, which was ripped to pieces. I can't imagine how that happened. She must have been caught by surprise, but the enemy must have been too skilled to sever her spine in one blow. I don't know why I added a word in there, but no, it was more than severed. It's as if her head was set in a vice and then her neck was twisted, muscle, bone, and all. Ryder disappears. At the same time, the red world fades away. It seems like the field was set up by the servant after all. However,
シンジ、これをやったのは誰？
Shinji inches back to the hallway, cornered by Tosuka.
言ったでしょ？学校にはもう一人マスターがいるって。その忠告を無視して騒ぎを起こしたあんたの落ち度よ。どうやらサーバントを見殺しにして生き残ったみたいだけど、相手の顔を見たんなら次はあんたの番よ。どんなマスターだか知らないけど、必ずあんたを始末しに来るわ。
そんなことあるもんか。僕にはもうサーバントはいないんだ。マスターじゃないんだから。狙われるのはお前たちだけだろ。
I mean, you can actually still get targeted.
そうね。まあ確かにその通りか。 あんたにまだ霊樹が残っていようと放っておいても害はないもの。うろちょろして見苦しいかもしれないけど、羽虫じゃ人間は殺せないし。そうね、あんた次第でここで息の根を止めるのは待ってあげる。
羽虫？僕が羽虫？
害虫に例えなかっただけでもありがたく思いなさい。麻藤真司は魔術師でもなければマスターにもふさわしくないから、
Damn.
人畜無害だって言ってやったのよ。
Not even an annoyance.
で、見たんなら答えなさいよ。今のあんたなんてその程度の価値しかないんだから。
Bro, open your mouth and talk. Shinji scrambles back, Tosuga's very presence a threat. Well, I don't even know if she'd actually follow through with her threat, but she's seriously angry. She's lost control of herself seeing this nightmare.
さあ、あんたのサーバントを仕留めたのはどんなサーバントだったのよ、シンジ。
知るもんか間抜け！怯えるのはお前たちの方だぞ、遠坂。次あいつに狙われるのはお前たちなんだからな。
Yeah, I think Caster and Assassin are definitely here.
この
Shinji runs out into the hallway and Tosuga starts to go after him because those bone creatures or whatever, we saw those bitches when we first came across Caster in the main story of the previous route. But now we're seeing them here. All we saw when Shinji and Ryder were attacking the school were like these blobs or whatever the hell. They were like not a threat whatsoever. She stops though. It seems to occur to her that they're what she has to deal with. No, that's wrong. It's not like it just occurred. She clenches her teeth, looking back at the collapsed student body in frustration. Her expression is somewhat typical of her, but her knees are shaking and her eyes are wavering so much that she looks like she's going to cry. I can't tell if she's more angry or sad, but I'm convinced. She has a strong attitude, she can do anything, and is a distinguished mage. But deep down, she is just a girl that acts her age.
大丈夫だ、遠坂。みんなまだ息はある。まだ終わったわけじゃない。
息があるってみんな。
ああ、辛いだろうけど、よく見てみろ。みんなちゃんと生きてる。結界もなくなったし、あとはすぐに助けを呼ぶだけだ。で、この場合は救急車か、それとも違うところか。魔術による傷なら、教会に連絡を入れるべきなのか。
I ask in a calm voice. It seems like she was finally able to regain her senses, as Tosuga slaps her own face with both of her hands.
連絡するのは教会でいいわ。綺麗に状況を説明すれば、後の手配は全部やってくれる。
よし、じゃあすぐに連絡しよう。
Is that what was done in the previous route? Tosuga nods and dashes into the hall. Her destination must be the office. There's a phone there that she can, so she can make a call right away. But there's something else to consider here, guys. There was somebody else here. Somebody else was definitely here, conscious. Hold on, let's check out our servant data. So obviously, yeah, Ryder. She's just gone from the get-go. We didn't really have much of a fight with her. Caster had to have been here. She had to have been. But I also wonder about Lancer. Have we maybe, you know, maybe he's not necessarily the servant of Kirie yet? I don't know. All right, well, whatever. We'll just wrap it up here, I suppose. This was not necessarily anticlimactic. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say I'm disappointed either, because I'm not. It's just that things really went in a direction that I didn't expect, and that really makes me question some things. Things are really going in a different direction now. That much is for certain. I thank you all for tuning into this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that fancy jazz, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.